Here we are. Should probably pop an effigy. Let's get some humanity back, get some of my resistances back up. This is it. This is Shulva Sanctum City. The entire DLC takes place in this one area. Jeez, he's a big boy. Okay. So a lot of these DLCs aren't too comprehensive. You can blow through them pretty quickly. Especially this one. I mean, our ultimate goal is to get into that pyramid right there. Doesn't sound as... it sounds hard. Well, it doesn't sound as hard as it is. Like, it is quite challenging at some points, but in general, it's not really that bad. There's a few things we need to do in order to get there, but in general, we don't really have to worry about too much. There's a few areas within this DLC that's quite a bit of a bother, and these particular enemies that I've just attacked. They actually have quite a little bit of resistances, so you'll find me having to hit them a few times before getting anywhere with them. But in general, it's not really too bad. Okay, that hit me, that's kind of annoying. Alright, definitely stocked up on plenty of life gems. Alright. So, you have these pillars around, and these pillars, you can hit them to activate lifts and big monolith type things. So we're going to activate this one, which will turn that one on. Knock that guy out almost entirely, so that'll take 2 arrows. This guy hasn't drunken an Estus, so I'm pretty lucky. He dies. It's awesome. Alright, and then we got this one right here, which will raise that one up, I believe. Awesome, that killed one. Well, that's horse shit. So there's one almost dead there as well. Okay. So it's all about planning. I find this area is really, really good to just like plan what you're doing at. How the fuck is that arrow stuck in midair like that? Now that's bullshit. Yeah. So this city is just festering. There's just nothing but poison in a lot of these areas. So all of these enemies are either A, poison resistant, or they have an additional poison stat on their attacks. Either way, it's not too problematic to deal with. It's kind of annoying, but it's not really a big deal. That guy's coming for me. That's okay. If you're smart with how you position the towers and stuff, or this thing here, you'll generally won't have to do too much heavy lifting when it comes to these enemies, but there are still a few things to do. I don't know why he walked through that way. He's gonna... Oh, that's right, that got raised. There it is. And now he'll fall down. So that shows me that there's a way to get up and around there. Sure, alright. I'm probably going to be butt chugging the life gems like no tomorrow. Because my riposte game's pretty shitty. Alright, he didn't drop a thing. Head up here. Starting to hear these little scuttering noises. We'll get to that in a second. Those things right there, they're actually quite annoying. That orange mist is something we really don't want to deal with. So if we ever can, we want to take care of those ones from a distance. There's a few more scurrying around somewhere. I have no idea where they are. All I know is they're around. Ah, they're in there, that's right. But I pissed off that other guy, so I might just wait until he shows his head and I can figure out what's going on. So I'm going to hit these things to just get rid of them, because I have a myriad of arrows. I don't really stress too much about that. Clearing the path. And I also want to make sure I don't run into anything that I don't want to not deal with. Still wondering where that guy went. Alright, whatever. So they're on the roof. Alright, there's one. Next one's right here. They have a jumping, biting attack, which is a bit of a pain to deal with, especially when you get surrounded. So those enemies aren't really that strong. The problem with them is trying to deal with them in numbers. That's the big issue. If you have four, 5, or 6 of them on you at once, it's actually really, really difficult to try to manage. Possible, but difficult. Alright, that hit me. That's a poison arrow. And I know there's another guy just around the corner there. So I'm going to hit that thing there. And hit that thing here. And I'm going to hit this one here. And that'll raise both of those and that thing down there. Alright. I'm going to walk down here because I believe there's a pickup of a few life gems. There's this guy right here. Is this life gems or is this a weapon? Oh, it's a poison stone. What was I thinking it would be life gems? Don't know. But I've already outlined the point that I'm definitely going to be sniffing these stones like crack. So there's another guy right here. I have no idea what he was planning to do. Oh, okay, he fell. No, what? Yeah, eat shit. Always watching these. Make sure we don't get any shit. Don't want to fall down there just yet. I'm kind of okay to not for the moment. Item here, let's pick this up. Lighting gun, that probably won't come in handy. I'm introduced to another little enemy down here. It's very subtle, but when you've played this game enough, you kind of have an idea, you know what you're looking out for. That's just a turtle with those poison totems on its head. Those poison totems will constantly spit poison at you. Not only that, but if you attack the turtle from the poison totems, it deals absolutely bugger all damage. And will rot your weapon away like no tomorrow. There is a bit of a shortcut. There's a bonfire just up in that room, and that's where we'll end up ending the part. But there is a bit of a shortcut when it comes to this. If you hit one of these and you stand on it, you know what you're doing. You'll be able to raise yourself up to the bonfire, having to pretty much like circumnavigate all of the shit that you have to deal with before you get there. But before we do, I do want to go around. Okay, there was no reason for me to go around. I'm going to go in this room just here with all the scurrying going on. See if I can see an enemy somewhere. Or can I just hear them? There's one. Mm-hmm. Always remaining vigilant and being careful, because we definitely don't... The hell was that noise? We definitely don't want to be overwhelmed. Wait for energy to come back. So there's 3 bosses in this DLC. I think there's 3 bosses in every one of the DLCs. And they're known as the Gank Squad, and it's just essentially 3 NPCs, a reskin of Havel, a reskin of some other fucking enemy, and then another reskin, because that's what they like doing. And honestly, I probably won't do that boss because it's a piece of shit, and it adds nothing to the game. It adds nothing story-wise, adds nothing aesthetically, it's just crap. For all intents and purposes, that boss is just shit, so I won't even bother with it. It's not even worth my time, if you ask me. So we're going to take these guys out from a distance. So we can shoot 3 arrows before we have to move at full stamina. Now we can't, because we got 2 arrows to deal with, so that's 2 arrows. I'll take that hit, because I'll kill that guy with this attack. Alright. Gonna use my life gem here. I'm gonna take this guy down here out. That's barely 3 arrows. I might just shoot 2 and then move. Oh shit, I dodged that one too. Man, am I a beast. Alright, so he's shooting that. That's going that way. That's wicked. He's shooting another. That's a pretty quick reload. I'm going to try to hit him in the head because it does obviously a lot more damage. It's like a critical hit. But it's also harder for me to aim at the head on the fly. So I'm cool just chilling for now. Not going to hit that little plinth type thing just yet. I'm going to quickly investigate down here. Ah, awesome. I had a feeling. I knew it. These guys can hurt, and they can both poison me. So, being wary is really, really key. I didn't get to block that, but that's okay. He didn't reload for another attack, so I can kill him. Awesome. It's kind of a good / bad thing when they pull out an Estus flask. So it's good because it gives you a second or two to be like, okay, well, what the fuck's he doing? I'm just going to murder his ass. But also, if you don't get a chance to hit them and disrupt them when they're drinking their Estus and refilling, then you have to deal with their health pool again. Not that it's a massive problem, but it's enough of an issue for you to kind of be a little bit disgruntled at the fact. Now, I knew he'd come alive, because there's a few more that sit up around the corner that come alive too, that I'll be wary of. So there's a guy just around the corner here who will probably, up there where my head is, that'll probably come alive in a moment. Where is he? There he is. Wonderful. Alright. Before we progress, we're going to wipe out this turtle. Spat on me, but not a big deal. I can deal with it. And I'll sort everything out in a moment, but for now, we want to do that. What that does is that raises up that other one there. Alright. I've played with a few people who don't know what they're doing when it comes to this, so what you want to do is you want to drop down onto this thing here. And a lot of people kind of go, well, I'm stuck. Obviously, you don't want to not have a bow, but even if you can't use your bow and arrow properly, you can still damage it enough to the point where you'll be able to raise the platform. But now you've raised the platform, there's an easy in around here. We're going to deal with these turtles because I forgot that they were here. And now we're starting to have all our shit degrade, so we'll figure that out in a second. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so quite a while ago, can't remember what part it was. Oh, you little fuck. I actually get poisoned. No, I'm good. Quite a while ago, I was talking to you guys about, what was it? NPCs that help you, and more specifically, there was an ant that helped us in the gutter. Well, this thing here helps us as well. Now, on first inspection, you might go, oh, that's a really weird looking thing. Don't know how that's going to help me. Well, if you have a notched whip, see my weapon degradation on my shield and my bow and rapier. If you have this and you give it a whip, yep, it pretty much restores all your stuff. Now, that thing does die. So yeah, try friend ahead. That weapon, that enemy does die, so you can't go around just like whipping the shit out of it. It does have a health bar, but it is one of those rare friendly NPCs, not even really an NPC, that can help you along your way. That little plinth that we hit back there, it opens up this thing right here. We don't really have much else to do in this area apart from raise the rest of these platforms up by attacking. Oh, Christ, where the hell's the other one? I've forgotten. I don't think I can actually. Oh, there's well, that one's for this down there, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Alright, well, where the hell's the other ones for these? I think it's underneath, so I might actually just go back down and then shoot them. Just so I can guarantee that I don't fall off and have to redo this all over again, because that would just be a real pain in my ass. I have to be careful running from one side to the other, so go over the corners to the closest edge, give it a bit of a run, and try to catch the side so you don't end up falling off. And we hit our bonfire that we can rest at and take a break.